Hello and welcome to your news at noon on this Monday. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jurnee Taylor. We are joined by meteorologist Nathan Scott after one of the nicest weekends of 2024, if I say so myself. Nathan, good afternoon, and what's on tap for this week?
Good afternoon, Jurnee. Yeah, I promised it was going to be a fantastic weekend. It certainly was, although we did have to contend with some gusty winds yesterday. Out there for the start of the new work week, we've got a mixture of sun off to the north, lots of clouds, though, lingering across central Arkansas. But you see the clouds quickly clearing out of Montgomery County, so it will start to clear out for you folks in Hot Springs probably the next 30 minutes to an hour, and that clearing line will make its way across central Arkansas. Once the skies clear out, up the numbers go. So it's going to be another unseasonably warm afternoon all across central Arkansas. The winds, they're out there, but certainly not as gusty as what we saw on Sunday. The highest gust I'm seeing here is 25-mile-per-hour winds into Pine Bluff. So we'll hang on to the breezes out there. The clouds not producing any rain at this time. Your temperatures, once again, once that sun makes a return, the temperatures will shoot up into the mid to upper 70s. Some locations could reach 80 degrees. Look at Texarkana, expecting a high of 88. Tonight, we drop down only into the mid 60s. And tomorrow, we're back up into the upper 70s to lower 80s. But it's all about to come to an end. Strong cold front makes its way through here tomorrow night. More details on that coming up.
Former President Trump's bid to win the GOP presidential nomination appears stronger than ever, but his one remaining opponent, Nikki Haley, is not ready to quit. Nicole Skanga has the latest from Washington, D.C.
Nikki Haley campaigns in Michigan today, vowing to fight on despite another big primary loss to former President Donald Trump, this time in her home state of South Carolina. The former UN ambassador still insists she can beat Trump.
They can say Donald Trump won. I give him that. But he, as a Republican incumbent, didn't get 40% of the vote of the primary.
Haley is now on a 10-day nationwide tour with more than 20 campaign rallies and fundraisers.
An even bigger win than we anticipated. And
for his part, Trump has now swept 4 straight primaries by double digits.
I have never seen the Republican Party so unified as it is right now.
But comments the GOP frontrunner made Friday night to conservative black voters are still drawing attention on the campaign trail. Trump claimed his dozens of criminal indictments are boosting his standing with black voters.
We've all seen the mugshot, and you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible.
The co-chair of President Biden's campaign blasted the comment as moronic and just plain racist. President Biden is also on the ballot in Michigan Tuesday, but without a major Democratic challenger, some progressives are urging voters to choose an uncommitted option, to register their complaints about the president's handling of the Israel-Hamas war. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, Washington.
March primary resumes today. Here's a look at the vote tally so far. Pulaski County reporting week 1 at a total of 6,367 votes cast. Faulkner County reporting more than 2,500. Saline County's total is more than 3,200. Jefferson County coming in at 1,401. And Garland County reports an even 2,400. Now, early voting is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. through Friday and 10 to 4 on Saturday. Election Day is a week from tomorrow. Petitioners in Sherwood are looking for signatures, hoping to get alcohol sales allowed in the city. THV11's Rebecca Brown talked to the local organization behind the cause and how they hope to put the question in front of voters.
Hey, Miss Jen, how are you? Good to see you. Here's the petition for Act for Sherwood.
For Monica Treat, each knock on the door and each signature on the sheet allows her to get one step closer to her goal of changing a decades-old law.
There is a very old law, the Gray Township, that's currently dictating alcohol sales in that area. So we're not trying to make it the Wild Wild West, but what we are trying to do is create economic equality across Sherwood.
The city of Sherwood for quite some time has been split into two. where one half of the city is allowed to sell alcohol and the other half is not.
The rules say you can go into a restaurant and get a drink, but you cannot have off-premise alcohol sales. And so what that means is there can't be a grocery store that sells alcohol, gas station, something of that nature.
Monica has lived in Sherwood for nearly 35 years, and she says she's seen the economic benefits a wet county can have versus one that's dry. So she created the Act for Sherwood petition to bring on change one signature at a time.
The purpose is for us to be able to create more economic development. We have a wonderful city and we have a very high income threshold.
Treat says they have to collect 4,000 signatures for this to be able to go on the November ballot. And she hopes this time around the push to sell alcohol works.
It's only natural that these people want somewhere to go, want somewhere that they could drive 5 minutes and, find a great quality restaurant or have more entertainment and things to go do with their kids. Create a space that welcomes that.
In Sherwood, Rebecca Brown, THV 11 News.
In developing news, North Little Rock experiencing multiple fires throughout the city. If you were in the area on Sunday, you may have noticed quite a bit of smoke in the sky. The fire department tells us they responded to multiple situations throughout the day, the biggest off of Highway 70 just east of 440. A burn pile spread to an area that was storing wood tools. The fire department says to be careful when lighting fire because it is a little warmer and drier than usual. Meanwhile, many parts of the state is currently under a heightened risk of wildfire. Over the weekend, we saw that risk come to life in several areas. In Monticello, a burn pile spread and caught a building on fire Saturday. The Monticello firefighters are also responded to another fire yesterday. Faulkner County experienced multiple incidents, one believed to have been started by suspected arson, and it took firefighters at least 5 hours to get under control. Saturday night in Worcester, there was another, which the fire department there described as a large grass and wildland fire. Now, taking a look at the most up-to-date wildfire danger map from the state's Forestry Commission. Right now, 6 counties are under burn bans. They include Van Buren, Searcy, Faulkner, Madison, Union, and White counties. However, most of the southern and southeastern parts of the state are in orange, which means high risk. Meanwhile, much of central Arkansas is in yellow, meaning a moderate risk. We will continue to keep you updated on air and online at THV11.com. In a THV11 update, the Biden administration now set to send more than $50 million to Arkansas to upgrade Arkansas's drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater infrastructure. This is all part of the bipartisan infrastructure law that was passed in November of 2021. Arkansas has already received nearly $250 million from the same law to fund water preservation and public health projects across the state. Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration saying Arkansans are getting back more money in their tax returns this year. The agency says it believes Arkansans are on track to save about $300 million. It's the result of the latest round of tax cuts passed during last year's special session. Scott Harding with the Department of Finance and Administration says around 1 million taxpayers will benefit with few to no drawbacks.
The fact that we're cutting taxes and have been cutting taxes, and yet we're still seeing large surpluses, it means that we're able to implement these tax cuts without changing any state services. So it's not as if we're saying, okay, we're going to cut taxes, 300 million is not coming to the state, we've got to cut these programs. It just means a little less, at least to date, that the surplus is not quite as large as it would have been because of that.
In 2022, refunds to taxpayers totaled $480 million. Last year, that number grew to $824 million, and Hardin says he expects the upward trend to continue as a result of the latest tax cuts. Well, a Virginia couple is missing in Grenada after their yacht was allegedly stolen by escaped criminals. Coming up, what police believe is now a murder investigation.
And we got a deck of clouds out there seen from RView 11, but sunshine will return this afternoon and the spring preview continues here at least through tomorrow. Then big changes arrive for the middle part of the work week. A big cool down is in store. I'll let you know how cool it's going to get coming up.